Alrighty, guys, so I already made a video earlier talking about how Tucker Carlson was fired by Fox News, an extremely shocking move to literally everybody. Apparently, Rupert Murdoch had something to do with Tucker Carlson being fired. Apparently, Rupert Murdoch wanted Tucker Carlson out. That was just days after Fox News settled with Dominion for $787 million. But another piece of shocking news, Don Lemon was also fired from CNN, and the Tucker Carlson thing seems a little more straight cut, a little more straightforward than Don Lemon's firing does. But the reason that I'm telling you all of this is because I'm about to show you a lot of stuff about Don Lemon and why I think he was fired. And I think, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I could be wrong about everything that I'm about to say. If I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Make a case for why I'm wrong. Tell me why you think I'm wrong. Because I could be wrong about every single thing that I'm about to say. But here we go. So this is a statement that Don Lemon put out on his own Twitter account that says, "I was informed this morning by my agent that I have been terminated by CNN. I am stunned. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I have loved at the network. It is clear that there are some larger issues at play. With that said, I want to thank my colleagues and the many teams I have worked with for an incredible run. They are the most talented journalists in the business, and I wish them all the best." So, Don Lemon came out, put a statement out on Twitter, and said that, I don't know what the fuck. They just fired me. My agent told me I was fired, and I'm gone. I'm gone. And this comes a couple of months after Don Lemon was on CNN's new morning program that they threw him on there with Poppy Harlow. And he said this. I'm just going to play the clip. This is what he said.
This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
We need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to
Google
or whatever it is.
So those comments that you just heard Don Lemon say were taken very strongly. A lot of people accused Don Lemon of being sexist with those comments, and they definitely came off in a very terrible way. It was a very strange thing for Don Lemon to say. It was a very odd, definitely not worded the best, and I can understand why people were saying that what he said did very much come off like it was sexist. But CNN's communications Twitter page, and this really is their page. This is their page right here. CNN's PR account on Twitter tweeted out and said, "Don Lemon's statement about this morning's events is inaccurate. He was offered an opportunity to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter." Very strange. CNN is directly responding and refuting what Don Lemon says in his original statement right here. Literally just straight up saying he's a fucking liar. And I think that that's a little strange that CNN is so quick to respond, but also not quick to come out and say what really happened and even announce that he was leaving the network, because this is a CNN business article from CNN. This is a CNN business article that says, "Don Lemon and CNN part ways." It's from CNN Business. And the article says, CNN has parted with longtime host Don Lemon. The announcement Monday came without explanation and astonished the media industry. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family. We thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. We wish him well and will be cheering for him in his future endeavors, said CNN CEO Chris Licht in a memo to staff. So, Even CNN themselves, even the people that work for CNN, say that they don't even know what happened. They say that this is a shock. CNN themselves is coming out and saying this is shocking to them. We have one more. We have a clip really quick here of CNN host John King live on the air. Also with an individual that co-wrote that article that you just saw on CNN Business. John King and this individual that just wrote that article talking about Don Lemon's parting. Let's see what they have to say.
Information on that, correct?
Not at the moment, John, but rest assured, once I get out of here, I will be making some calls.
Oliver Dorsey, appreciate the hustle very much on this breaking news story. And again, I don't know the details happening while I'm sitting in the chair here, but I work here. I love this place. I certainly wish Don the best. He's always been good to me as a colleague. Let's move on now. We'll get more details as we can. The United States says the situation in Sudan is escalating.
And that's all John King says about it. He says he's always been good to me. Don't know about details. He's gone. We'll update you when we can. And I kept looking, and I found another clip of Don Lemon saying some very not great, borderline sexist comments on the same program.
Popularity and
all right, I would make the exact opposite argument.
This reporter, this contributor over here, before this clip starts, because I didn't want to show the whole clip, because it's really, really long, is talking about how women, professional soccer players that are women, get paid less than professional soccer players that are men, but he's also saying that women, the professional United States of America soccer team, the professional women team, does better than the men, but they get paid less. That's what this contributor was trying to talk about here.
I know everyone's going to hate me.
Go ahead.
But the men's team makes more money.
Hey,
if they make more money, then they should get more money.
Why does
If
the men's team...
The men's team makes more money because
You know why?
because people are more interested in
But
the men.
guess who takes part of blame? I have a big issue with this, guys. WNBA, same thing's happening to them.
There's
Until
also more
media,
interest in the
hold
NBA,
on. Until big media companies, big tech companies, advertisers invest and put them on their airwaves more and allow people. And allow people to see it more and gain more fans. Then you will push toward more equality. Okay. But if they are blocked in so many ways and not invested in as much, they don't even have a. I know you're not, but they don't even have a shot.
I grew up the only boy in a family of all women. I understand what you're saying, but not everybody, honestly, has the same skill. Not everybody has the same interest in the sport. I think the women should be paid more. I do. But if the men...
You're right that not everyone has the same skills because the women are better skilled.
Well, the women are better skilled against other women. But if the women played the men, they wouldn't be winning the way that they win.
Okay, I'm not going to get into. I'm not even going to get into that argument.
I'm just saying, if the sport makes more money, that means there's more money available.
Why does it make more money?
Because people are more interested in it.
Because they see it.
When I go to a sports bar, guys, am I wrong? You guys don't want to say anything.
True.
When I go to a sports bar, if there is a women's basketball game on, I'm just being honest.
Which is on air less.
People will say,
literally
can you flip it to the guys? I don't want to watch this. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just speaking. What?
Gary, what were you going to say?
And so you cannot make people become interested in something that they are not interested in.
And it goes on for a couple more minutes with Don Lemon saying stuff like that. And, these are just this was picked up by the media. A lot of people were commenting on what he said. Don Lemon has also come out and talked about how this morning show that he was on, he wasn't really comfortable being on the morning show. Apparently, this was a last-ditch effort by CNN to kind of boost Don Lemon's career. I don't know how true that is, but something else, and it very well could have been those comments that he made in both of the clips I showed you, but something else is a couple last week, a very prominent, very up-and-coming, prominent Republican presidential candidate went on CNN. His name is Vivek Ramaswamy. And he did an interview with CNN, and we're going to play some of these comments. And this guy is someone who's come out and literally said that I just want to be I'm just like Trump. Trump inspired me in 2016 to run, so I want to run like Trump. And just so you guys can see it, because I don't want to tell you guys something that's not really there. Woo. There we go. This is an interview that he did. This is an article in Politico, and it said he has a theory for how this will all go. He wants to pull off what Donald Trump did in 2016, enter the race with an entrepreneurial spirit, unorthodox ideas, and few expectations, and end up developing a major following that will carry him into the presidency, even if it seems like a long shot at the moment. And this is a big fluff piece from Politico that I'm not going to read any more of because I think it's complete and utter garbage. But he went on CNN with Don Lemon on this morning program, and co-host Poppy Harlow, and let's watch.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was
Black
part of
people,
what secured
hang on,
that
please.
freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on one second. So to say that black people, say what you said again.
Black people secured.
And just notice that Don Lemon. And this is, I've never been on a news show, I've never been in on any of these big media things, but they put these earpieces, especially in the host's ears, sometimes the guests too, they put these earpieces in their ears and talk to them in their in-ears and tell them stuff. I don't know exactly what they tell them, but they have people talking to them constantly when they're on air like this. Don Lemon just pulled his earpiece out. This was last week. All those other clips I showed you were from weeks and months ago.
Secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They
That's
were
a
not
fact.
secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not, you are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to
And you
happen
know how they
after the
got
Civil
it?
War
They got their
and
Second Amendment
Reconstruction.
rights, and they actually got, the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don,
The NRA did not play a big role in
absolutely,
that.
they trained black.
I'm sorry, but what this guy is saying, what Vivek is saying here about Second Amendment rights and black people, I cannot even stand to listen to it. He's saying that the NRA played a big part in black Americans securing Second Amendment rights. No, the fuck, they did not. When the Black Panther Party was very prominent, very in the, I guess, national point of view, national sphere, Black Panthers they had guns. They would walk around armed. When black people started to have guns, the NRA started to push for gun control. If you guys don't believe me, you guys can pause the video right now and go and look that up. When black people started to openly arm themselves, the NRA wanted gun control. I'm not lying. You guys can go and look it up for yourselves. This guy is a fucking liar. It is absolutely ridiculous what he is saying. But let's continue here.
Americans had to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role in
This
that.
is just historical.
Don Lemon's 100% fucking right. Not even close. Not even fucking close.
Fact, but
It's
Don,
not a historical fact.
the part that I
Just
find
because you say it's a historical
the
fact,
part
it's
that
not
I
a
find
historical fact.
insulting is
True.
when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I
know
have
the
a different
freedoms
point
that
of view.
black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without
shouldn't.
Don Lemon's literally over here spitting facts, and this guy is just fucking not even on the same page as Don, not even reading the same book. I don't know what the fuck this guy is talking about. So far off the rails, so far not even in the same ballpark as what Don is talking about here.
me regarding you as a
but I
black
think
man,
it's insulting that
but
you're
me
sitting
regarding you
here,
as a fellow citizen.
that you're
That's what I
sitting
think we
here,
should see.
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining.
And then Poppy Harlow, I believe that's her. She just pulls out her phone. The reason that I'm showing this clip and I'm showing this to you guys is because I think that this exchange and this interview has a lot to do with Don Lemon's firing, and I think that and this is something else you guys can go and look up. CNN did coverage on the rail worker strike, rail workers unions fighting for better working conditions, a bunch of other stuff. CNN's coverage of those of the looming rail strike was strangely right-wing, inherently right-wing, very right-leaning. Okay, and they've slowly seemed it's very slowly, not very slowly, but it's very seemed like recently CNN has kind of started slipping down the slope of conservative media, and I think that this clip and Don Lemon being fired just speaks way more into that. And again, I could be wrong. Those comments he made about Nikki Haley not being in her prime and the women's soccer team, that could have played a huge part in this. CNN came out, specifically said he lied about this, but I think that this has a lot to do with Don Lemon's firing, and I also think it shows and tells us a lot about where CNN is headed in the near future. And I do have, again, you guys, not even just the rail strikes that you guys can go and look that up, but there is other evidence I could show you guys that CNN is headed there.
As a fellow citizen,
you're
that's what I
sitting
think we should
here,
see.
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
Whatever ethnicity
about
I'm, I'll
what
tell
it's
you,
like to be black
whatever
in America.
ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white, doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
the content of the
If you're going
ideas.
to do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a fair way.
True.
And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay?
With-
But we appreciate you coming on.
With
Thank
due
you for
respect,
that.
Don, I look forward to
Thank you very
continuing
much.
that
I appreciate
conversation.
it. We'll
Thank
continue
you.
the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Papa.
We'll talk about China.
Yes, let's talk about China.
Next time you come back.
Oh, thank you. Much to say on declaring independence from China.
Okay,
Something you
can
can
we
add
move on now, please?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And, again, Don Lemon, he took his earpiece out. He was very clearly frustrated by that, and I think he was very rightfully so frustrated. I don't know. Maybe everything I said was wrong, but I think that Don Lemon being fired and this interview, because the New York Times actually reported that this interview had a lot to do with Don Lemon being fired. And you know what? I could very much be wrong about that. But the New York Times reported that last Wednesday, however, Mr. Lemon made headlines again after a highly contentious on-air exchange with Vivek. A Republican presidential candidate, the segment deteriorated as the men fiercely debated questions of black history and the Second Amendment. Mr. Lemon's co-anchor, Ms. Harley, could be seen sitting silently behind him, at times casting her gaze elsewhere and scrolling through her smartphone. The incident left several CNN leaders exasperated, the People said. And the New York Times is literally saying that this could very well be the reason that he got fired. And if that is true, it's pure evidence that CNN is headed down the right-wing rabbit hole. But that's going to be it for my video. Please let me know what you think. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, press that bell, turn on all notifications so you guys don't miss an upload.